There I am. You know what? You've got a project in mind. I know you do. Maybe it's a mini session. Maybe you want to create a gallery showing of your own work. Maybe you want to support a local organization or individual. Or it could be that you are developing a personal project that reflects your creative energy, your creativity, your purpose. What you may not realize yet is that every project you create has the potential to become a partnership powered marketing machine. Hey there, Lens Legends. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show, where we focus on the business side of photography. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side. And it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography. They're designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales so you can finally get what you deserve. You know what? You are in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her amazing, wonderful team are going to make you look like a hero just by default, because Amanda hires the best people who love what they do. I mean, if you go in, you'll see that, you'll feel that. And your clients, well, that's the ones that are going to look at you like a hero. Now, go to digitalprolab.com and see the difference that Digital Pro Lab can make. Amanda and her wonderful team, they're going to take care of you. You can see on the screen, digitalprolab.com. And for Landers Photography School, this is my company. I teach both the photography side and the business side. And I do spend a lot more time on the business side nowadays, and I love both, which is surprising because I didn't start off liking both. I started off liking the creative side, but over time started loving the photography, the business side as well. So I encourage you to reach out, and I'll put another address on the screen. In fact, I'm going to change that to this. There we go. Get rid of that moving one. This is how to get on my calendar for a free private session. Just you and me talking about your goals and how to reach them. Go to Calendly, like calendar, but calendly.com/photo school/15MIN. And that will get you onto my calendar. I encourage you to ask questions and make comments throughout this lesson today. I want you to go to the comments section right now and enter in hashtag live That way I know that you're watching us live here today on either Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. We're simulcast to several places. So for those watching the replay, instead, I want you to enter in replay #replay. But those watching live right now, please enter in #live. I can see that several of you have done it already. Thank you for doing that. I also request that you share the Portrait Profit Show, letting other people know that this exists, that this is beneficial to others. There's people who say, I hear this every once in a while, that there's no one out there helping. That, I wish that there was someone who would help when I was getting started, but no one was there. You know what? They are there. It's just when you realize it, you're not sharing it with someone else. Share it right now. All you have to do is click the share button. If you're on Facebook, they make it really easy. Or tag someone that you know, but let other people know about the Portrait Profits Show. When you align your project, and I'll give you some ideas of what that is here in just a moment. But when you align your project with the right people in your community, you extend your reach, you multiply your results, and you create a win win environment that benefits everyone involved, all while elevating your status as the photographer who brings people together. This lesson is about promoting a specific project or offer, not general advertising, not your everyday sessions. This is about focused energy used with strategic intention to create visibility and momentum through shared purpose partnerships. Shared purpose partnerships. Whether you've thought of it this way before or not, mini sessions, gallery showings, charitable collaborations, personal projects, all of these become significantly more powerful when aligned with a business, organization, or individual that already has the trust of the people that you want to reach. It's alliance marketing. When you're planning a project, you're also creating an opportunity to connect with others who care about the same people that you serve. By intentionally connecting your work with others who care about the same people you serve, you're going to create a handful of things. Let me tell you what those are: built in credibility, expanded marketing reach, shared promotional efforts, stronger community presence, and a project that stands out from the noise. This guide that I'm going to share with you right now will walk you through that process step by step. It will also help you stay organized, stay confident, and stay on track so the process feels exciting rather than overwhelming. We have enough of that. You'll learn how to identify good fit partners, how to craft an approach that gets noticed, and how to manage the details so your project runs smoothly and produces outstanding results for everyone involved. So, about give you some ideas. I want to talk about the types of projects that work well with partnerships. And I'll put that on the screen. There we go. Well, you know what we're doing right now. And let's see. So with this, we're not talking about general marketing or business as usual sessions. This is about putting your focused energy behind a specific project or a specific offer, something that creates visibility, opens doors for connection, and is well suited to collaboration. These are the kinds of projects that invite attention, or what many people say, buzz. It's something that gets talked about, gains momentum when shared through the right people and right places in your community. Even if you've never done a mini session or personal project before, you may not have thought of, even if you have done a mini session or personal project before, you may not have thought of connecting them with a marketing partner. And that's what makes this process different. It's not just about what you're doing, but about who you're doing it with. Below are five. What I'm about to share with you are five of the five projects that work well with partnership-based marketing. So as you hear them, notice which ones resonate with you. Something that reflects your interests, your values, or the kind of work that you want to be known for or that you want to try. Or let them spark something new, a fresh twist, or an idea that you've seen, or a direction that you haven't explored yet. All right, here's some ideas, some thoughts on what this could be. It could be mini sessions, short term, themed, naturally well suited for collaboration with partners because they're short, limited, and easy for another business to promote without feeling overwhelmed by commitment. Give you an example. Let's say a spring mini session series partnered with a local children's boutique, where both you and the boutique share the promotion and display sample work, and then show the work off in the boutique. Other examples might be back to school sessions in partnership with a kids' clothing store, a mom and me session paired with a wellness spa, uh, holiday cards promoted with a local family charity, a headshot refresh event hosted in collaboration with a salon. How about gallery showings? This would be events or displays that create visibility, draw attention, and invite community conversation. Gallery showings give your partner an elegant, high end event to offer their clients, which boosts their credibility while giving you exposure to new families or professionals, to new prospects. I'll give you an example of that. A portrait exhibit in a bank lobby, created in partnership with the bank as a way to highlight families or businesses in the area. I call it Families in Business. Actually, that wasn't my name, it was another photographer who shared this with me. Other ideas might include a themed show like uh, creators or artists in the community that you could show the image that you create at a coffee shop, or an athlete portrait wall inside a private fitness or training facility. We could do a project called Faces of the Neighborhood that you do portraits of well-known or well-respected or people who are really contributing to the area during some local event. We could also do charity or cause-based projects. These would be projects that support a nonprofit, a mission, or in some cases, just one individual or one couple or one family, and provide shared purpose between you and your partner. These cause-based projects, these build goodwill, they strengthen community ties, and they make both you and your partner shine in a way that is heartfelt, meaningful, and memorable. Let me give you an example of that one. You could call this one Portraits for a Purpose. This would be a session day supporting a local animal rescue in collaboration with the neighboring vet clinic who helps spread the word, just like you are doing. You could do a free portrait day for foster families organized with a support agency. You could do a pay what you can event benefiting a local food pantry. And everything that you get goes to that food pantry. You could do portraits of cancer survivors displayed at a local mall during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. How about a storytelling series about local veterans shared at a community center? There's a lot of ideas. I'm not going to go over as many as I can think of, but I want to give you some ideas on what I mean so you can let your mind flow as I'm sharing this with you. How about referral based collaborations? Ongoing partnerships where both you and the business benefit from shared exposure. Referral based collaborations can quietly and consistently generate new leads for years, sometimes even decades, if you actively nurture those relationships. I'll give you an example. How about a local realtor gives new homeowners a family portrait gift card from you, of course, and in return is featured on your website as a community partner. Your photograph. I'll give you an additional example with this one. You the realtor gives this certificate that you create to their families that are buying homes. What they're saying is they are giving a gift to that family, because that's something realtors do, is they give gifts to the people who are purchasing homes from them. And so this gift could be a family portrait session. Doesn't include the prints, but it includes the session. And so you've provided this to them, that therefore they are sending you leads. They're providing a marketing service for you and not charging you anything for it, is how you're looking at it. And so they come to you with that certificate, you photograph them, and any prints that they want, you sell them those prints. And then you send an image back to that realtor so that they can put that in their portfolio, in their marketing materials. Think they're going to want that? Yeah. Give you some other ideas. How about an OBGYN includes your newborn session certificate or card in their onboarding information? Could be done the same way as we did the realtor. How about a CPA that offers professional headshot vouchers with completed returns? Or a pet trainer adds photo session certificate to their graduation packet? A lot of things that you could do here. But I haven't talked about personal projects yet. So let's do that. Personal projects with public reach. Creative work that reflects your values and invites community engagement. Personal projects attract partners who want to be associated with creativity or storytelling and community enrichment, especially when your project shines a light on people they care about. I'll give you an example of a project that you could do about a black and white portrait series featuring local veterans with stories shared and displayed in partnership with the public library, done on Veterans Day. How about a 40 over 40 portrait project featured at a women's health clinic? How about generational portraits displayed at a senior center, or a farmer portrait project displayed at a local market or local grocery store? A handmade artist series shown during a community art event or art walk? Let's talk about why these would work, why they're working so well. Because these are all projects that can start small, they can grow. What makes them powerful is their focus, their built in story, their potential to connect with an audience that already exists through someone else's established trust and reach. A partner is not just a marketing boost, though, they are a bridge between you and the people that you want to reach. The right partner can multiply your reach, strengthen your message, and add a level of credibility it would take years to build on your own. When your project aligns with their audience and their values, their people become your people. So I've got an action step for you. I want you to think of a project you've done in the past that could have been stronger had you had a partner, or one you've been thinking about that's been waiting for the right spark for you to be able to move forward. That's the project you'll use as we go through the next steps. Think about this for a moment. Think about a project. Think about something that you could do. It doesn't have to be what you're going to end up with. I just want you to be thinking through at least one. Whether you're going to end up doing it or not doesn't really matter, because I want you to think it through as we go through these next steps. Got it? All right, let's move on to the next section then. This would be why these partnerships work. We touched on that, but now we're going to go into it a little bit further. When you create a project and bring in a business partner, you're doing something far more powerful than getting help. You're tapping into a marketing advantage that most photographers overlook, or it did never cross their mind. The advantage of shared trust, shared reach, and shared purpose. Partnership based projects work because they connect you to the people you already like, trust, and listen to, the business you're partnering with. It's not cold traffic. It's not random advertising. It's not begging the algorithm to pay attention. This is direct access to your ideal clients through someone who already has a relationship with them. That's the genius behind partnership projects. Let me give you 5 big reasons, there are more, that these work so well. The first is a trust transfer. When a respected business recommends you, their credibility gets transferred to you instantly. This is the same principle behind referrals. People trust what their friends and favorite businesses say about you more than what you say about yourself. People buy from people they like, trust, and feel aligned with. A partner business is essentially saying, we trust this guy, and you can too. That's priceless. A second one, shared audience is already gathered. Every business you partner with already has an audience. And when you partner strategically, it's your ideal clients that you are reaching out to. They just don't know you yet. Instead of spending money and time trying to find those people, those ideal clients, you connect with a partner who already has them gathered together. This is why mini sessions and special projects explode when a partner shares them. They aren't pushing a stranger, they're sharing something valuable with people they already care about. The third one, I'm giving you 5, so is the third one, mutual benefit, the win-win. For an alliance to work, both sides must benefit. Your partner isn't helping you. They're not doing you a favor. They're improving their client's experience. When they present your project, they are doing a few things. They're offering something meaningful. They're strengthening their customer loyalty. They're creating goodwill. They're standing out from their competitors because they're not doing this. And they're looking like a hero to their clients. You are benefiting from that visibility. They benefit from the elevated relationship with their customers. And everyone benefits from what you create together. This is a triple win because it's you, the organization, company, individual you're partnering with, and the people who they are working with, who you'll be photographing. Win, win, win. The fourth of 5 is built-in credibility and added legitimacy. When your project is associated with a recognizable business, a bank, a boutique, a spa, a gym, a school, it elevates your perceived value, the value of your work. People think if this business chose this photographer, they must be good. You're no longer just some photographer. You're the photographer who's partnered with this company, this bank, this business. That positioning alone can transform your reputation in your community. And let's say that you're new to your area. This puts you in a position of importance very quickly. I highly recommend it to everyone, but especially those who have just moved into a new area. The fifth of 5, shared marketing momentum. Instead of doing everything yourself, emails, posts, graphics, calls, invitation, your partner is doing this with you. You're sharing the load. You're sharing the excitement. You double or triple your exposure without doubling your work. Marketing becomes easier because others are talking about you, promoting you, displaying you, and inviting people to what you created. That momentum is the fuel that projects thrive. That's what's going to make projects thrive. So let me give you an action step. I want you to take a moment and think through a project that you'd want to create. Now, hopefully this is the same one you thought about during the first section. But I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Who already has the audience that I want to reach? Now, it's quite possible that your personal project is not the people you normally reach. So it's not necessarily your normal target market. It probably should be, especially early on. but who has the audience that I want to reach? Who would benefit from offering this project to their clients? What would make this a win-win for both of us? All right, hold on to those answers because you're going to use them as we go through this next section. By the way, you guys feeling this? You hearing it? You like this? If you are, let me know in the comments. Tell me that you're here. Just say yes in the comments. You're hearing this. You like this. That this is resonating with you. All right. Anytime you hear something that you like or you come up with an idea, it spurred an idea, I want you to click that like button or click the love button. But if you haven't already, I want you to enter in hashtag live right now in the comments section. Hashtag live. And just so you know, I think most of you are very well aware, but if you're watching the show right now for the first time, you may be unaware. Every single one of these lessons that I do have a handout that goes with it. And so if you want the handout, you can either send me an email, jim@portraitprofits.com, jim@portraitprofits.com, and I'll put that on the screen. There we go. Or enter in hashtag handout. That will tell me that you want the handout. So those are the two ways that you can take advantage of getting a handout. Next section. Not every business is a good match for your project. Now, you're not surprised by that. Some are perfect. Some are almost, and plenty good enough. But some are going to drain your energy faster than the Texas sun in July. So choosing wisely saves you time, boosts your results, and increases the likelihood that your project is a winner. The businesses you're looking for are the ones who already serve, attract, or influence the people who you want to reach or who would benefit from offering something special to their clients. When the match is right, everything becomes easier. The invitation, the promotion, the momentum, the results. Let's talk about how to choose a partner that makes your project stronger. First thing would be look for businesses that reach your target market. Now, we've talked about that. Let's talk about the how. Write down a list of companies that target the same people you target or want to target. This, along with the project itself, is the foundation of the entire partnership process. For example, if your project features families, then think about banks, dentists, children's boutiques, realtors. If your project features business owners, this would also be banks, but it could be CPAs, co-working spaces, chambers of commerce. If your project features high school seniors, look for boutiques or salons or barbershops or car dealers or dermatologists or orthodontists or gyms or dance studios, sporting goods stores, senior parent organizations. Yeah, there's a bunch. If your project features artists or other creative professionals, look to coffee shops, local galleries, small boutiques, craft markets, community art events. You're not trying to convince a business to care about something they don't care about. You're not asking them to do you a favor. You are finding businesses who already care about the people your project is celebrating or is directed to. The second thing would be look for businesses that value their clients. Partnerships succeed when the business partner wants a meaningful way to recognize, celebrate, or serve the people they already interact with every single day. They get to give their clients a valuable gift from a top professional that further enhances their reputation. Businesses love anything that increases loyalty, that makes their clients feel appreciated, that gives them something unique to offer them, and it helps them stand out from their competitors. It also It helps them connect with their community. When you offer a project that makes them look good, they are far more likely to say yes to working with you on your project. Another is to think beyond obvious partners. Many photographers choose the obvious ones or the low hanging fruit. And that makes sense to start that way for sure. But your best partner might be one you've never considered. So let me give a couple examples of that. I've already said a couple, but I'm going to share a couple more. How about gyms or fitness trainers, personal transformation portrait projects? About medical offices, celebration sessions, like when the braces come off, weight loss milestones, pregnancy journeys. How about law firms? This could be business headshot events and community leadership projects. How about pet boarding facilities, pet portrait days? High end apartment complexes would be resident portrait nights. Maybe working with a car dealership, a new owner, maybe a family in their new car portraits. And there's a whole lot of stuff I could share about these. These are just the surface level ideas, though. How about banks and CPAs? Business owner features like families in business, nonprofits. How about some cause based projects? The fourth idea that to find good partners is use a win-win filter. Before you approach or even consider any business, think about it from their point of view. What's in it for them? How does this benefit their clients? How does this support their mission or their values? How does this make them look good? Is this easy for them to participate with or in? If you can't answer those questions confidently, it's too soon to reach out to them. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not the right organization to work with. It just means it's too soon to reach out to them. When the answers come easily, you know you're on the right track. A fifth one would be to avoid energy draining partners. Now, I've shared this philosophy many times, but please avoid partners who are difficult to communicate with, those who don't appear to value their customers very much, those that expect to do nothing and for you to do everything, those who are constantly needing convincing to have to over and over share the concept with them, those who are disorganized, those who are looking at your project as a burden or a gift, or they're just being nice to you instead of a benefit for them and their clients. Stay away from those who want you to prove yourself first. You don't need permission to be valuable. You know, your energy is one of your greatest resources. So save it for partnerships that treat you like an equal partner, or think of you as a definite benefit to them. Here's the sixth one: quick filters to save time. You'll know a partner is worth pursuing when they meet at least, let's say, three of these things I'm about to share with you. Here's the first: they already work with your ideal clients. They benefit from celebrating or recognizing their clients. They see value in elevating their brand. They respond positively when you describe the project to them. They enjoy community involvement. They care about their reputation. They care about their visibility. They value long term relationships. If there are at least three of those that this organization, this company, this individual has, then this is a green light. Go for it. Let me give you an action step with this one. Based on the project you have in mind, possibly the one you identified in chapter one, but I know your mind wanders as I'm talking. but I want you to write down 12 businesses that target the same people that you want to reach. 12? Yeah, because you're not going to get them all first, but you will over time. And 12, okay, that number is intentional. I haven't done any scientific research as to why, but that seems 12 seems to be the magic number. So if you can get 12 of these relationships, different partnering uh, uh, organizations or individuals, you are likely to never have to pay for ads ever, or even do any marketing as long as you continue to nurture those relationships. This is an extremely powerful tool. And it also makes it where you become invisible to other photographers. They don't notice you as much anymore, which might be a good thing for some of you. You might appreciate that. Do you know that some of the most successful photographers you've never heard of? That's because their marketing is that good. They know that you aren't their target market. And they've done such a good job of targeting their market that you don't know who they are. You've never crossed paths with them because they have effectively targeted their market. Yeah, it's the truth. If everybody knows you, that might mean you need to do a better job of targeting your market. It might mean that. It depends on what your market is. It's quite possible that that is the way that you want to go, that you need to go. Everybody's different. And that's why you probably want to reach out to me so I can help you with that kind of thing. Because I know, based on some questions that I will ask you, what direction you need to go in order to reach your goals. All right. Now, once you've done this action step, I want you to mark the top three that feel like the best match. You've got a list of 12. Put a star next to the three that you feel like are the best match, because you're going to use those three organizations, companies in this next section. This one is preparing your project before you reach out. And I'm looking for, there it is. Before you contact a single business, you must prepare your project clearly and completely. This step determines whether your partnership process feels smooth and confident or scattered and stressful. Some photographers skip ahead because they're excited about the idea, but partnerships only work well when the project is defined, organized, and easy for the partner to understand it. Think of this as building the foundation. You're creating clarity for yourself and making it simple for your future partner to say, "Oh yeah, we definitely want to be a part of this. Thanks for asking us." Here are the essential elements to have ready before you reach out. The first, define the purpose of the project. You must know why you're doing this project and who it's for. Who's your target market? Who do you want to get the attention of? Who do you want to benefit? Which could be different people or different groups. Your purpose should be simple enough to say in one sentence, just one. It should be that simple. Yes, you're going to go into more detail, but your purpose should be simple enough to say in one sentence. Let me give you some examples of what one sentence might be. So the purpose is to celebrate 12 to 20 local families in business in partnership with whatever bank you're talking to. Smith Bank. How about this one? To create a portrait exhibit that highlights the creative professionals in our community. Here's another example. To offer a mini session experience that families will talk about that benefit both the partnering organization and the photographer, you. Here's another, to support a local cause and create goodwill for everyone involved. Now, that is much too general, so you need to add in the specifics of your situation. Bottom line is, if you can't state your purpose clearly, Your partner's going to struggle, your potential partner is going to struggle to see the value. You've got to do everything in your power to eliminate all friction. Clarity creates confidence, both yours and theirs. We need to define the benefit for the partner. So there's a few things the partner is going to need to know in order to understand this. They need to know how it's going to help or benefit their clients. They need to know how this is going to strengthen their customer loyalty. They need to know clearly how this is going to make them look good. They need to know how this increases their visibility. They need to know how this aligns with their mission or their values. They get to give their clients a very valuable gift from a top professional photographer that further enhances their reputation. That is the heartbeat of a partnership project. If your partner looks great, you look great. I want you to define the benefit for you. We define the benefit for them, for the partner, but I want you to define the benefit for you. That's not selfish. Or if it is, it's the good side of selfish, because anyone who thinks selfish is only negative is living life like this, at least on that one topic. There are things that are beneficial that you do for you. You need to have time away. You need to do certain things that are just you. Well, that's self, and they are good. So selfish is both good and bad. We just mostly associate it with the bad. But this isn't selfish. Defining the benefit for you is not selfish. This is smart. Smart business, smart for you. You need to know exactly what the project does for you, for your photography business. Let's give some examples of that. It could be, and it's probably several things, such as visibility, being known in your community, the opportunity to book additional sessions, selling additional portraits to the participating families, if you're working with families, strengthening long term alliances, expanding your network with ideal clients, building a portfolio that aligns with your goals. This clarity keeps you focused when things get unsure, busy, overwhelming. Next thing we need to do is define the partner's role. Now, we're going to keep it simple. If you want a yes, your partner's responsibilities must be simple, specific, and easy. Their role might include selecting the participants. It could be sending out a notification or invitation. It could be displaying the finished portraits. How about hosting or co hosting the event, which would include event planning and more? How about sharing the project on their social media or website? If they have an event, welcoming guests at the event. They may need to provide a list of participants if appropriate. You're not asking them to do everything. Your goal is to make their part obvious and as simple to understand as possible. Then we need to define your responsibilities. You're the project creator, you're the organizer, you're the photographer, you're the one driving the momentum. List what you're handling so your partner knows what you are doing and sees the professionalism. Too many people start working on something and they're wondering why they haven't gotten any recognition from it. Now, they may not need it, but they may be wondering, how do they not know how much I'm doing? Or don't they know how much I'm doing behind the scenes? No, they don't. If you didn't tell them, it's your fault if you don't get recognition. They don't know. They have a life, they have a million things going on. Do not expect people to know what it is you're doing behind the scenes, how much effort, how much time and blood, sweat, and tears you've put into it. Don't expect that unless you tell them. Your partner needs to know what you're doing because you're telling them ahead of time what you're going to be doing and then you're doing it. What do they see that as? someone who keeps their word. But if you never told them what you're going to be doing, they don't know. They don't know if you're keeping your word. They don't know what you're doing, period, except what's on the surface, the obvious stuff, which is a small percentage compared to everything else. When you tell others what it is you are doing, a partner specifically, they're doing these things, I'm doing these things. They're going to see the professionalism when you do it. Let me give you some examples of that. You're doing all the planning, scheduling, and communication with the participants that you're going to be photographing. You're doing all the photography sessions, of course. You're doing all the retouching. You're preparing final prints. You're getting them framed if that's appropriate. You're coordinating installation. You're coordinating how it is you're going to be displaying the photographs, if that's part of what you're doing. If you're doing an event at a bank, you're going to be showing these images. There's going to be 12 to 20, say, on easels, so you don't mess up their walls. And they're going to be in the environment where they're having this event. You're going to be maybe helping them or designing for them promotional materials. How about providing the text, the graphics, or instructions that they will need to do this themselves? Because sometimes they have marketing teams. In that instance, you just need to provide the text, the graphics, and whatever instructions you need to share with them. How about helping to promote the project? How about managing the entire timeline? How about you being present when there's an event? When a partner sees this level of clarity, they understand that the project is well thought out and that they're partnering with someone who knows what they're doing. You see the value in that? Now we need to create a simple, clear timeline. Your timeline might include project announcement date, participant selection deadline, session dates, portrait selection deadline for the people you're photographing, retouching and production time, installation date, event date, post event follow up, and a whole lot more. When you show a business a timeline, it's a whole lot easier to share everything that's going on because you're not having to say every single word. You're showing them this timeline where they can see it themselves. It's right there in front of them. You send it to them or you are in their presence. When you show a business a timeline, you instantly separate yourself from just someone with an idea to a professional with a plan, someone who they can count on, because they have to know that or they won't do business with you. They won't want to partner with you. They have probably tried things before that fell through. You need to make sure that you are sharing things in a way that looks like that's not even a possibility. I want you to prepare a one-page summary. This isn't a full proposal. This is a simple version. Maybe you could call it a clarity document. It needs to include the purpose of the project, the benefit for them, the partner, the benefit for their clients or the community, whatever it is that who you're trying to benefit. It needs to include what the partner's responsibilities are going to be. It needs to describe what it is that you're going to handle, a general timeline. It'll get specific after you guys have talked. Your contact information so that they have an easy way of getting a hold of you. This one page is the key tool for getting a meeting with them. So let me give you an action step. Before contacting any business on your list, create a clear purpose statement. Create a list of benefits for them, a list of benefits for you, and a simple list of responsibilities, both theirs and yours. You also want to draft a timeline, and you want to have this one-page summary that I mentioned just a moment ago. You're going to use all of this in the next chapter when you reach out to your top 3 partners. However, there's a part 2 to this next week. That's when we'll actually talk about that and a whole lot more. You now have everything that you need to start building meaningful win win partnerships in your area. Once you've completed this, maybe you've done it already, at least in your head, you've defined the type of project you want to create. You'll have, if you haven't done this already, you'll do it soon. You'll have identified the kinds of businesses that align with your goals, and you've prepared the foundation that makes a partnership possible. The purpose, the benefits, the timeline, and the clarity that gives your future partner confidence in you. This is the kind of preparation that separates photographers who hope for opportunities from photographers who create opportunities. That's you, Lens Legend. That's why I call you Lens Legend, because you create opportunities, not just for yourself, for everyone in your path. When you take the time to organize your project before you reach out, you're not just a photographer with a good idea, you're a professional with a plan. And decision makers respond to that. These partner powered projects become the spark that leads to long term alliances, increased visibility to to your target market, your ideal client, stronger community ties, and an ongoing flow of ideal clients who want exactly what you do. They give you momentum, credibility, connection. These are three things that no advertising budget can just buy. If all you do this week is complete the action steps from the 4 chapters I've shared with you so far, you will be ahead of 90% of photographers in your area. You'll have clarity, confidence, and direction. And when you reach out to potential partners, you'll be doing it with a well-built plan instead of a vague idea. You're setting the stage for something bigger than a single project. You're building a reputation as someone who uplifts your community while building a stronger business. Now, I said this is part one. Next week is part two. Next week, we'll pick up exactly where we left off and walk through the remaining steps: reaching out, presenting the idea, running the project, and turning one successful partnership into many more. You're doing the groundwork now so that when you step into part two, you'll already be moving forward with direction and purpose. You've got this, and you are closer than you think. If you'd like today's handout, send me an email, jim@portraitprofits.com, or enter in hashtag handout in the comments. Now, it might be that I'll combine these, or I may send them separately. I'll probably send them separately. But that's how you get to the handout. Send an email to jim@portraitprofits.com, or in the comments, enter in hashtag handout. Hashtag handout. And if you'd like to have a session with me to talk about this or something else related to your photography business, then take advantage of this URL you see on the screen right now. That's to my calendar. And you can take advantage of a 15-minute private session with me. Calendly.com/photoschool/15MIN. That's how you take advantage of that. As you know, you get the Portrait Profit Show every Monday. So I want to share with you the upcoming shows. In 1 week from today, well, you get the Partner Powered Projects Part 2. And so I'll put that up on the screen. That is on Monday, December 8th. Now, on the second Monday of every month, we move it to 6:30 in the evening so that more people, so there's some people can't watch this during the day and they can watch it in the evening. The reason I normally do that is because I have a panel in the evening and it's just easier to get panelists. But because I need a space for part two, I didn't realize I was going to need a space for part two. So I'm using it I'm using next week for that. So next week, December 8th, 6:30 p.m. And I should put the text on the screen. There it is. So put it on your calendar. Don't forget, put it on your calendar right now. Do it. December 8th at 6:30 for Partner Powered Projects Part 2. This is that will be episode number 249. And then on December 15th, back to the normal time, noon, we'll be doing 5 strategies for explosive growth in 2026. 2026. Yeah. I mean, it's right around the corner. That's episode number 250. 250. That means we've done 250 Mondays in a row. Yeah. And I appreciate there's a handful of you that have been to nearly every one of them. I really appreciate you. I know you've got other things going on. You made it happen to watch the show. You found enough value in it to either just remember or put it on your calendar and have it remember for you. Thank you for doing that. So in 2 weeks from now, we'll hit episode number 250. Not a whole lot of podcasts reach episode number 250. And since this is an hour-long show, that's 250 hours of content. Yep, that's quite a bit. So we'll be talking about 5 strategies for explosive growth. We're talking about 5 different things that you can do. You can do one of them. You can do all of them. I don't really recommend you do all because it's a lot. It's not impossible. Someone could do all, but it's best to just focus on one, get it to where it works perfectly, and then move on to the next one. But I'll share with you 5 different ones. You choose the one that you like the best, and you're going to have an amazing 2026 as a result. I want to thank you, Lens Legends, for joining me today. If something in today's lesson sparked an idea for you, a project, a partner, or even just a clearer direction, will you do me a favor and hit that like button and share the Portrait Profit Show with others who could benefit from this? We're building momentum step by step. And today, you built the foundation for a project that can elevate your visibility, strengthen your business, and create a powerful win-win partnership or partnerships in your community. Next week, we'll dive into part 2 of this lesson, where I'll show you how to make contact with potential partners, how to confidently present your idea, how to bring your project to life in a way that benefits you, your partner, and your community, your ideal client. So as we end another show, I hope that the ideas and strategies we've explored today have resonated with you and that you're able to move forward with confidence. You know what? The world is ready and waiting for your unique vision. So trust in your talent and believe in the impact you can make. Thanks, Lens Legends, for your time and attention here today. And thank you for the efforts that you make each day to be such an amazing photographer. Together, we help each other achieve our goals and make a difference in the world through our passion for portrait photography. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I bring you the weekly Portrait Profit Show. Until I see you next week, Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing. I look forward to watching you grow. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. Bye for now.